Project Zomboid is Indie Stone's foray into the open-world survival genre. The game pits players against hordes of the undead and the brutal reality of survival, offering a gritty, realistic look at what you might face during a zombie apocalypse. As someone who has come to the land of brutal indie rock, I feel qualified to give an honest review of this nightmarishly fun post-apocalyptic simulator. Project Zomboid, 11 years in the making. To fully appreciate Project Zomboid, you need to understand the efforts of its developers. Zomboid developer Indie Stone has been working on the game since 2011, dedicating a whole decade of his life to the project. Even after their original source code was stolen, which destroyed most of the project, Indie Stone never gave up on their game and continue to develop it to this day. Their dedication really shows in the complexity of the game. The Zomboid project is complex and so finely detailed that sometimes a simple task can take hours or a steep learning curve. For example, when I played the game myself with some friends, we discovered that simply sewing patches onto our clothes was an art in itself. In addition to requiring our specialized tailors to hone their sewing skills to protect us from zombie bites and scratches, we also need needles, thread, and fabric. Each of these items were separate and scattered throughout the game's randomly generated loot pool, and it took us a long time to get them. The difficulty of the game can be both boring and a reason to play it. While I can admit that looking for a clue in the desert feels like finding a needle in a haystack, we didn't play Zomboid because the pace felt fast. The complexity of the game and the dedication required to survive in the harsh wilderness can truly create a zombie apocalypse experience. Never in a survival game have I felt that survival is as important as Project Zomboid. Another thing Project Zomboid does is sell the zombie apocalypse in the name. This is a zombie, The Walking Dead or The Walking Dead. There are a few zombie survival games on the market. One that I have played a lot is 7 Days to Die. Although terrifying at first, the zombies in 7 Days to Die are nothing more than lines of code at the end of the day. Like any video game NPC, you can and will eventually learn their patterns, and when you do, their behavior is less intimidating and more predictable. Zomboid zombies are not. Despite only having a few lines of code themselves, the zombies in Project Zomboid definitely feel real, menacing, and impossible to control. Zombies in the PZ are attracted to sights, sounds, and smells, and their perception of these things is so acute that it is difficult to conceal all three. After sneaking through a few hordes and killing quite a few zombies, you might think you know what they're up to, but this trust is your downfall. Like a great episode of The Walking Dead, you think you've got all your bases covered when the slightest glitch goes away. Suddenly, your scavenger hunt is surrounded by hordes of the undead, and you catch a new character. My partner and I were scavenging in an old church. We felt pretty safe with a baseball bat, an axe and a shotgun, the best equipment we could find. We've killed a lot of zombies before, and cleaning up the church wasn't that hard. At the moment we finally feel like we are in control of the game. That's when I opened the church door and the alarm went off. Before we knew it, the church was overrun by zombies pouring out of each of our escape routes. As my best friend was torn apart by the pack, I watched in horror as my shotgun failed to reload fast enough to save her. I managed to escape and my supposedly stupid plan to search the church cost us a teammate and a ton of gear. Dealing with zombies in PZ feels impossible, and I love it. Few games in the zombie apocalypse survival genre feel like a real zombie apocalypse. PZ has been satisfying my video game cravings since I first saw The Walking Dead when I was 11 years old. Final assessment: this game is definitely not for everyone. The top-down camera angles and sluggish gameplay can seriously dampen your appetite, but if you're looking for a game that perfectly embodies the zombie apocalypse, this is it. Project Zomboid is the perfect game for niche gamers like me who always want to feel like they're in an episode of The Walking Dead. The last word: it is a game of ups and downs. At its lowest point, it can be incredibly boring, like sleeping after an infection or spending half an hour reading a book in real life to gain 1% skill experience. However, its height is very high. There's nothing quite like starting your first car, battling hordes of the undead with your friends, or building the perfect base for zombies to wreak havoc in ways you never thought possible. 8. Our Project Zomboid review is based on the PC version of the game. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.